Right, guys, so this video is covering all of the starting points that you need when it comes to your nutrition. Based on the last video, we should have an idea of how many calories you're burning and so on. So what this is going to do is expand on that and set some real targets for you to have when it comes to your nutrition tracking, and tell you where the examples are of actual meal plans and templates that we can follow to make sure that you guys get off to the absolute best start on this fat loss challenge. If you've still got questions based on how many calories you should be having, that's fine. Let us know in the group and I will get back to you straight away. We can help you out with setting the numbers. So guys, as mentioned, setting targets, we can help you out with this. So don't worry in terms of, if it seems like a little bit too much, if there's numbers everywhere that you don't work out what they are, that's fine. Just let me know and ask any questions in the group. Email me directly, whichever, and I will make sure that you are off to the start that you need to be when it comes to getting the numbers right. This is going to be based on calculations, so we can look at the calculator on the last video, but we might need to tweak it a little bit based on what you're currently doing. For example, if you've been nowhere near that and it's saying eat 2,500 calories a day, you're only currently eating about 1,500, we're obviously going to have to make some adjustments there so that you're getting results straight away, whilst building fitness, building health, building strength, and so on. Now, for the first few days, I'd suggest using one of the templates that we've attached to this video. There are 3 templates. There's 1,200 calories, 1,600, and 2,000 calories. For most of you guys, we're going to be looking at either the 1,200 or 1,600 calorie template. And there's 3 days on each. Just have a look, give it a go. And just follow that type of structure. That'll give you an idea on, what may work for you in terms of when to eat, in terms of portion sizes, types of foods, and everything along those lines. Now, remember that the focus at this point is eat a lot of lean protein and a lot of vegetables, all right? If we're doing that and we can get your calories right, I can guarantee that we will be getting some really good results straight away. So, rule number 1, eat enough protein. Now, why? Well, high protein helps us to recover from training, it helps us keep more lean mass, helps us burn more calories when compared with carbs and fats, and it'll help to make sure that our weight loss doesn't plateau before it needs to. It'll just keep that metabolism going throughout this entire weight loss journey. Now, again, in terms of your targets, this can be done for you. So if you're unsure on where to go in terms of protein amounts, if you want to set it yourself using some tool like FitnessPal, that's absolutely fine, but you'll be looking for probably at least 30 to 40% protein. Or if you want more specific numbers, again, reach out, ask, and I absolutely will not mind just spending a couple of minutes to put your exact numbers together for you. So rule number 2 is track your calories and hit your targets. Be clear on what this target is. The targets that we've set based on the previous video and the last couple of slides, the calorie targets, absolutely essential. So, this is probably going to be 20 to 35% down on what we assume that you're burning in a day. We want to create that calorie deficit that we spoke about in the last video. Now, make sure that you are doing your best, doing everything that you can to stick to the plan. If you're not trying to stick to it, we don't know whether it needs to change. If you're trying to stick to it and it's just impossible to do, it may be that we change your meal timings, we change your numbers, and so on, just so that it suits your current diet a little bit better. Again, for most of you, around 1,200 to 1,600 calories is probably going to be your starting point. So them templates will be massively, massively useful over the first couple of days. And we've also attached 5 recipe books to this video. So if you want some more ideas on what breakfast to have, what lunches, what snacks, what evening meals, all of our FX recipe books have the calories, the macros with it. So really important to make sure that you're having a look at them and you're trying to get as many meal ideas as possible to move beyond the first couple of days. Rule number 3 is eat your veggies. 5 a day is an absolute minimum, and I want you guys to be focusing on veg for this. Yes, you can include fruit in your diet. That's absolutely fine. But your target is 5 a day when it comes to veg, and add a little bit of additional fruit. Now, we will, as long as we're sensible with this won't have any negatives in terms of calories, in terms of sugars or anything like that. This will be something that will only increase the total quality of nutrition and improve the results that you get from the training program. But again, still make sure that it's tracked where possible so that we can have a good idea on what your nutrition quality is, as well as making sure that we are still on top of calories. Rule number 4, when it comes to carbs and fats, these guys are going to be going down. Most people will find that they get the best results from being aware of how many fats they're eating and how much fat they're getting in the total daily diet. And when it comes to carbs, initially, if we're not doing a lot of high intensity exercise and we're looking for fat loss, one of the most useful tools that we can do is pull carbs down a little bit. Now, if you're already eating low carbs, we don't need to change it. Obviously, this is all going to be based around the numbers that we've already set for you. But if your diet is regularly made up of carb-based foods, pastas, sandwiches, pizzas, things like that, then obviously we want to pull that down. We want to be making sure that our main focus for the meals is veg and lean proteins. You may still have some carbs. It's not a no-carb diet that we're suggesting. It's just being mindful of how many carbs we're having and obviously how many fats we're having, because fat is, regardless of what you hear, it is the easiest thing to overdo in your diet. So being aware of that is absolutely essential, because this helps us maintain that calorie deficit that we're looking for. Now, when it comes to practical stuff, get some digital food scales. This is going to be important when it comes to actually understanding your food and what's in your food. Sticking to plain foods for now is probably going to be easier. Watch out for hidden calories, milk, sugar in brews, general sugars in fizzy drinks, cooking oils, sauces to have with your meals. Other options with all of this are, for example, rather than sauces, we can use different spices on the foods. Rather than cooking oils, we can get low-calorie sprays and things, just while we get to grips with how many calories we're actually having and making it easier to track and stick to the targets. Again, follow along via the online app, so via the training app. That's going to have your nutrition information on there. Make sure that that links up with what we're suggesting on FitnessPal for you guys. And any questions, just ask in the Facebook group. I just wanted to cover this. One thing that comes up often is, what do I do about supplements? In terms of supplements, we don't need many to start off with. You might not need any at all, but the ones to consider can be whey protein. Just most people find it fairly difficult to hit the protein target straight away. So a protein supplement can just help with that if we know that we're nowhere near. Putting that in, especially around training, can be a really useful addition. Multivitamins and omega-3s are something that I would generally suggest for health, just to make sure that we are not getting deficiencies in any of these areas. When it comes to anything else, speak to us. If you're working with us directly, you've got PT, obviously they'll be giving advice on this. If not, ask the questions in the Facebook group and we will get back to you. Guys, when it comes to getting started with your nutrition, we're now good to go. You should hopefully from this video know what you need to do in terms of calories, protein, and some of the practical stuff that's going to help you get there. We've got some meal templates, we've got recipe books. So let's get started. I will see you in the next video to go through how we get started with training. Thanks.